of the Revere License Commission will be held by remote participation only. There is a link on the License Commission city website so you can join the meeting. The following matters will come before the Revere Licensing Commission today at our regularly scheduled meeting. The meeting was previously filed with the city clerk. The applications considered for submitted for consideration will be addressed first. Item number 1 is Rubino's Restaurant LLC, DBA The Cutting Board, 744 Broadway. Louis Rubino is the manager. This is an application of Rubino's Restaurant LLC, DBA Cutting Board, for a change of hours for a malt, wine, cordial liquors restaurant license to allow for earlier openings on Sunday. Requested hours are Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., Friday, Saturday, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Current hours are the same except for the Sunday hour at 5 p.m. Alcohol service would begin no earlier than 10 a.m. on Sunday. Is there someone here from Rubino's Restaurant LLC? Louis, you're muted.
Here we go. Sorry about that. Yep, I'm here.
Okay, great. Can you tell us what your plans are and why you want to open earlier on Sunday?
Yeah, so we find that Sunday night is pretty slow. We wanted to kind of expand into the brunch territory and just open earlier and offer a brunch service on Sundays.
All right, thank you. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions on this?
No, I have no questions.
Commissioner Osina, do you have any questions on this?
I apologize. I have no questions on this.
Thank you. Well, I mean, I don't see any problems. I don't have any other questions. Let me open this up. Are there any proponents? Hearing and seeing, I'll close that section. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to this? I don't see or hear any. I'll close that section. Is there I'll make a motion to approve.
No second.
Very good. The application for a change of hours is approved. The application of Rubino's Restaurant, DBA The Cutting Board, for a change of hours for a wine, malt, cordial liquors restaurant license to allow for earlier opening on Sundays. Approved the requested hours of Sunday, 9 a.m., 10 p.m., Monday, Thursday, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., Friday, Saturday, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Those hours are approved. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. You all have a great day.
Good luck.
I'm sorry. You're welcome. Item number 2, Eddie Max Lounge, Inc., DBA The Volcano Room, 377 Revere Beach Boulevard, Juan Rivera is the manager. This is an application of Eddie Max Lounge, Inc., DBA The Volcano Room, for a change of DBA from Atlantic Lounge. Is there someone here on behalf of Eddie Max Lounge, Inc.?
I can see that their mic is not on. They're all muted.
I don't see anybody else out here that is on that.
Yes,
Marianne Wood is here, but she's muted.
she's muted. I see her name. Oh, there she is.
Yes.
Yes, I'm Malachi Dillon, Marianne's brother. 395 Revere Beach Boulevard with Juan Vera, the manager. So that's what Malachi Dillon. I thought I had my video on. I don't know why it's not working.
I was seeing all the comments.
Okay. Well, very good. Can you What are your plans for this location? Are you just changing the name and keeping everything else as is?
Yes, essentially, that's true. The manager, Juan, just wants to say a few brief statements. Juan, go ahead.
Yes, my name is Juan Vera. I'm the manager for the Atlantic Lounge for a long time. I'm with the family dealer for a long time, 20 years, a very, very good person to me. You know what I mean? I think that we deserve to do that one and go forward to offer to the customer new or experiment something different.
Yes.
What
Okay.
is it that's different? What are you experimenting?
You know, like you know what I mean, offer like a sushi food, something like this, burritos, enchiladas, something easy, you know what I mean? In the daytime, new decor, something like this.
Well, as you people know, that we were closed for COVID-19 for the longest time, for practically more than a year. So this is an attempt for us to relaunch and rebrand the bar and try to get more of a local clientele. And we thought a new concept would be a good idea because all the renovations going down on the beach. So that's the reason behind the request of the name change.
Right, but I just, before COVID, you didn't serve food there, did you?
We have full victuallers and food licenses. We've had them for over 25 years, up to date, paid and inspected on the facility.
Right, but you weren't using them during that time.
No, we aren't considered food people. We were really interested in perhaps the liquor business side of things, but you know, all things change, and that, you know, looking forward, I think it would be very critical to have a food service operation along with beverages down on Revere Beach. Looking forward.
Well, truthfully, we don't have pouring bars anymore. You do have to serve food with alcohol. I'm just wondering if the inspectors, we have, the kitchens have been inspected to reopen them.
Mary
Think
Ann?
to Michael Wells. I think Michael Wells is muted. I'd like to know if he's inspected or if Paul Chivas has gone in, because I know these have not been in service for quite a while. So I could hear from Michael Wells.
I don't have any active food licenses on that establishment.
I
Really?
didn't, so. No, they haven't been inspected for many years, sir. That's why, even with the fire department here, I think they would have to have an inspection.
I welcome the city to inspect the premises. I believe it's immaculate inside, and I don't anticipate any problems.
Right, I don't either, but we do need
An
the
application.
inspection to be signed off
Well,
on.
of course, we wouldn't do anything on improper. It's just that we were interested in changing the name with the city first. That's what we're here to do.
Right.
I mean,
Good.
obviously, everything we do will be run through the city, the licenses and the whole bit.
Excuse me, Deputy Teever, did you want to comment on this?
Sure, thank you. I've met Juan down there a couple of times for liquor license in the past when I first took this position over. Juan does a great job. He takes good care of the building. Anything I've asked of him, he's done. That said, I do not recall inspecting the premises for kitchen. So I do think he has a lot of work to do to get his kitchen up to speed with us in the health department as well. He does have an application in the building for a building permit right now to change out the windows at the front of the building. We put a couple comments in there, so I believe he's aware through that process that we need to get in there and do some inspections, and he's probably going to have to do some additional work to meet his goal here. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I mean, for our purposes, he just wants to change the name.
That's correct.
That really, you know, what happens with that is the city inspectors and, you know, everything else. So what he's looking for from the license commission is a change of name from, you know, to the volcano ring. So, I
I
mean,
understand that, Commissioner, but I guess what I'm getting to is, so we're going to keep it as a pouring until he gets all the inspections.
yeah, I mean, he's in the
Which
same, place he was, except he has a different name.
Right.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
acceptable.
I don't know unless I'm missing something.
No, you know.
But we don't give pouring bar licenses anymore. You do have to serve food.
already have them.
We intend to comply with that. So again, this is the first step of many. And that's why we're on the agenda this night. We want to change the name up.
So are you reopened? Have you
No,
reopened
we're
at
not
all?
open. No, we're not open.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
thank
So
you.
you'll,
Let me close this section of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of the name change to Volcano Room? I don't see or hear any. I will close that section. Any opponents? Is there anybody?
I have 3 callers, so I will allow them to talk and see if they have anything to say.
Thank
No
you.
one else has raised a hand. If they have anything to say, they can unmute and speak.
I'm looking for proponents of the name change of the Volcano Room from Kitty Maxx Lounge, Atlantic Lounge. Anybody have anybody seeing and hearing? I'll close that section. Is anybody opposed to the name change? Is there anybody opposed to the name change? From the
*6 will unmute you on your phone. *6.
There's an attorney who's having difficulty attending this meeting. Her name is Jill Mann, and she can't get in. She's wondering if you can technically invite her to participate.
no,
She is in.
They added me in. Thank you, Mal. They added me in about a minute ago, so I thank you.
The square. All right, Mike, that's all. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Counselor, would you like to speak on behalf of the license?
I mean, at this point, I think, the board understands the request is simply for a change of DBA and that we will in fact comply and have inspections prior to opening. So the purpose of this is simply to begin the entire process. And once we get all those inspections and comply with the letter of your requirements, then the premises will be open and only then. So this truly is simply the first step of many. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. We appreciate your input. Does anybody have any questions of the counselor?
no, I guess she answered my questions. They weren't opening. I mean, I was under the impression they were going to open without the restaurant, so I have no questions.
Very good. We'll close that section. Are there any opponents? Anybody opposed? We'll close that section. I'll make a motion to approve this. Anybody else want to second it?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you very much. The motion for a name change. The application of Eddie Max Lounge, Inc., DBA The Volcano Room for a change of DBA from the Atlantic Lounge is approved. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate, thank you.
Item number 3, Boston Renegades, Harry Delarusso Stadium, Ben Brown, event manager. This is an application for 5 one-day malt wine licenses. The application of Boston Renegades for 5 one-day malt wine licenses to be exercised at Harry Delarusso Stadium from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. on the following dates: May 8th, 2021, May 15th, 2021, May 22nd, 2021, June 26th, 2021, July 10th, 2021. All dates are on Saturday. The event is women's tackle football games. Is there someone here to speak on behalf of the Boston Renegades?
Yes, my name is Molly Goodwin. I'm the owner.
Very good. Can you explain what your process will be and what it is you plan to do here?
Yeah, hi. We had this license with you folks in 2019 and also in 2020. In 2020, our season was canceled, so we didn't go through with it, but we would do the same thing that we did in 2019, which is at our gate, we have the fans come in the gate. They are then ID'd and given a bracelet. and they can buy their tickets at the front gate. They would then go over to the to the beer tent. They could, with their ticket and their bracelet, buy a glass of wine or a can of beer, and they would be restricted to the stadium area. We would start selling right before the game, and we would close right around the start of the fourth quarter.
Very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions on this?
No, I think we've done it in the past. My only question is, we do have the permits in order from the city.
Yes,
You've gotten the permits, so they're available on those dates.
yes. In
Okay.
terms of the stadium rental,
Yes.
yes. We're already on the books with Mike.
Okay, great. No, I've been to it.
It's fun.
It's interesting. Yeah, I have no other questions.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Osina. Do you have any questions on this?
I don't. I looked over the paperwork and the application. It's been approved before, and I have no issue with it.
Very good. Thank you, sir. I'll close this section of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of the Boston Renegade application for 5 one-day malt wine licenses?
I will release the phone people again.
Thank you.
I see no other raised hands.
Thank you very much. I will close that section. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to the Boston Renegades application for 5 one-day malt wine licenses? Don't see or hear any there. We'll close that section of the hearing. I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you very much. The application for 5 one-day malt wine licenses of the Boston Renegade to be exercised at Harry Delarusso Stadium from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. on the following dates: May 8th, May 15th, May 22nd, June 26th, July 10th of 2021. Those events are approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Item number 4, this is an application for alteration of premises. The application of Rincon Limeno Revere Inc. Juan D. Jamarillo is the manager for an alteration of premises to change the layout of the dining area to comply with local, state, and ADA regulations. The seating will be to remain at 66. Mr. Yamarillo.
He is on.
I see him. I see the name, and I see that he's not muted. Well, let's move on to the next item unless we can get him up. I make a motion to table is still further in the meeting.
Second.
You get a second on that?
Second.
Thank you. Item number 5, Sri Round Inc., DBA Easy Liquors, 750 Washington Avenue. Jaya Rao is the manager. This is a transfer of all alcohol package store license. The application of Sri Rang Inc., DBA Easy Liquors, 750 Washington Avenue. Jaya Rao, manager, for a transfer of an all package store license from Washington Liquors Inc., said license to be exercised at the same location. Is there someone here from Sri Rang Inc.?
Yes, this is Attorney John Moretti. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you very much, Counselor. Can you tell us about the transfer and what
Sure.
the means?
John Meridian Demarcus Law Offices on behalf of Sri Rang Inc. Incorporated, DBA Easy Liquors. They're purchasing the all alcohol liquor license over at,
Juan, can you mute your phone, please? Or Maggie, can you mute?
can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Council, would you mind starting over? I was having trouble hearing you.
John Meridian Demarcus Law Offices on behalf of Sri Rang Inc., DBA Easy Liquors. They're purchasing the all alcohol liquor license, package store license from Washington Liquors Incorporated. The license will remain at 750 Washington Street in Revere. We're seeking 3 items today: transfer of the license to Sri Rang Inc., approval of Daya Rawal as manager of record, and approval of the pledge of license and inventory to Rockland Trust Company as Rockland is financing the transaction. It's simply a change in ownership. There's no structural changes to the premises. Daya is tip certified. She has experience in alcohol sales. They anticipate having 3 to 4 employees, and they usually will use an ID scanner to assist with the underage alcohol sales issue. So with that, any questions you may have for myself or I see Daya here is available. We'll welcome them.
Thank you, Council. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
No, I've read over the application. It looks like everything's in order. It's all been inspected, so I have no questions.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner Guanasso. Commissioner,
Sam, I had an opportunity to review the application and all associated documents. So I have no questions for them at this time.
very good. Well, section of the hearing. Are there any opponents? I'm sorry, I'll go with proponents first. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of this application? I don't see or hear anybody. I'll close that section. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to this application transfer? I don't see or hear any. I will close that section. Is there a discussion, or do we want to just make a motion? I don't have anything to add.
I have nothing to add. Everything was,
Very good. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. The motion for the application for transfer of all alcohol package store license is approved. The application of Sri Rang Inc., DBA Easy Liquors, 750 Washington Avenue, Daya Rawal manager for transfer of an all alcohol package store license from Washington Liquors Inc., said license to be exercised at the same location. That application is approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll go back to item number 4. Rincon Lemino Revere Inc., 260 Broadway. Juan Yi Yamarillo is the manager. It's an application for an alteration of premises. The application of Rincon Limono, boy, oh boy, Revere Inc., Juan Yamarillo manager, for an alteration of premises to change the layout of the dining area to comply with local, state, and ADA regulations. The seating is to remain at 66. Mr. Yamarillo.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what your plan is here and what this alteration is going to look like?
Yes, at the beginning, we thought we can actually reuse what was there. But after getting inside the restaurant, it was there for 66 years. So everything was out of code. It wasn't only the sprinkle system, the fire alarm, or any other thing. It was everything. It was out of code. So we have basically to change every single thing on the restaurant, even the stalls. So based on that, we changed the layout. The only like what we're asking on this meeting is the change of the layout, the way we had it before. It was there before, of how we're going to have it now. we're gonna have still the same 66 people. We relocated the bar, and we're just gonna try to keep everything in the right way, so we can have everything right at the place.
Thank you. I looked at some of the photos and the renderings. It looks like it's going to be a really nice looking place.
Yes,
Do
I
any,
expect so.
any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
No, I have no questions. I understand he's got all the inspectional services approved, so I have no questions.
Commissioner Osina?
I have no questions either.
Thank you very much. I will close this section. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of this motion? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Are there any?
Excuse me, Commissioner, I think the Chivas would like to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking down. I didn't notice that. Deputy.
Not a problem. I just want to speak on Juan's behalf. He bought this property with intention of doing the right thing. When he started opening up walls inside, he realized all the violations he's run into. He's going to spend a lot of money here. There's issues with the electrical. There's issues with gas coming into the building. The sprinkler system was a mess. The fire alarm system's a mess. The sprinkler system actually comes off at 250 Broadway. So he has a whole bunch of engineering design that he definitely didn't anticipate that he's going to have to deal with there. So, I'm thanking him for everything he's putting in here and give him all the help I can, because he's really, he's got a tough property here and he's got a great design plan, and I wish him well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deputy. Anybody else have anything else to add? I don't see or hear anybody, so we'll move to a motion. I'll
make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Osina, you want to second that motion?
I second the motion.
Very good. The motion for an alteration of premises of Rincon.
Rincon Limeño.
Thank you very much. That's what I needed.
That's a tough one, I know.
For a alteration of premises is approved. The application of Rincon Limeño Revere Inc.
Yes.
Juan Yamarillo.
Got it.
For an alteration of premises to change the layout of the dining area to comply with local, state, and ADA regulations. The seating to remain at 66. That's approved. Thank you very much, sir. Good luck with this.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Item number 7. Coleman's Corporation, Taqueria Coloma, 425 Revere Beach Revere Beach Boulevard. Daniel Diego is the manager.
Excuse me, Chairman. There's an item number 6 first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wow, I skipped right over that. Okay, thank you very much. Item number 6. 381 Revere Beach LLC, DBA Bianchi's at the Sandbar, 381 Revere Beach Boulevard, Marianne Wood LLC manager. This is an application for an all alcohol restaurant license. The application of 381 Revere Beach LLC, DBA Bianchi's at Sandbar for an all alcohol restaurant license. The said license to be exercised at 381 Revere Beach Boulevard. Requested seating is 92 inside, plus 20 seasonal seats outside. Proposed hours are Sunday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Proposed entertainment is TV, vocal and instrumental music, and dancing by patrons. Is there someone here to speak on behalf of 381 Revere Beach LLC?
Yes. Good afternoon, Jill Mann, from Man & Man in Middleton, Massachusetts. I'm here on behalf of 381 Revere Beach LLC. Basically, this is an application for a brand new liquor license, despite the fact that there had been a liquor license in this location previously. But the prior owner relinquished its license. So we're here this evening, this afternoon, for a new license. The premises is going to be a full-service restaurant with an all-alcoholic beverage license. It will be owned and operated by Mary Ann Wood. She is on this call, and she will be the licensed manager. And she is the sole owner and principal of 381 Revere Beach LLC. Revere Beach LLC has the right to operate a restaurant at the premises pursuant to a lease that was also delivered with the package. Included in your license package, as you had said, is an application for a common victual license, an application for an entertainment license, as well as the all alcoholic beverage license for non-premises operation. As discussed, you said it all, 92 seats inside, 20 seats seasonal outside. The plans were submitted showing the breakdown. At the present time, the owners are simply trying to remodel the inside and to just kind of improve the layout of the property. And that is shown on the plans that you have. They are going to do business as Bianchi at the Sandbar, and that business certificate was requested and obtained from the city clerk. The hours of operation are as stated, and we did provide you with all of the information relative to Ms. Wood's character, that being her resume. She's an attorney admitted to the bar in Massachusetts, and she also is tip certified. In addition to that, she is, as the required, a Mass resident, and a U.S. citizen. If there are any questions relative to the application, I would welcome them. And as I said, Mary Ann is on the line, so if any of the commissioners have questions, she is available to answer them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councilor. We appreciate that. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
Well, for now, I just have one question right now, and I'd like to hear from all the other speakers before I continue. But we're saying Bianchi's, is the restaurant going to serve only pizza, or are you going to have a dining menu?
Sure. There will be a dining menu as well. So pizza will be the mainstay, obviously from the name Bianchi's. We all know this from our childhood. It's been there forever. So Bianchi's will be the pizzeria that will be the pizza that will be sold there, but you'll be able to get other food menu items like heavy duty salads and then other proteins as may be required and or requested by various customers.
Okay, and Bianchi's will be opened. Pizza will be served.
Yes.
From opening till closing?
Yes. Well, food will be served at all times as is required. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, I'd like to hear from the rest of the speakers before I ask any other questions.
Well, certainly. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Orsina, do you have any questions of this applicant?
I don't at this time, no.
Very good. We'll close that section of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Are there anybody else that wants to speak on behalf of this application?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to speak on behalf of this.
Yes,
Councilor. This to me is one of the most rewarding things that circumstances that you get in being a city councilor. When you can come up here and speak in favor of an applicant, someone that they've been residents of the city of Revere all their lives, the Dillon family. I believe, and I'm not sure, that Mary Ann at one time may have been in the Revere school system. As far as being able to reach out and get to someone, if in fact there were an incident, and I don't foresee any incidents under this management. However, two brothers live right next door. I think the building is adjacent to the site. I'll refer to it as Renzo's for the time being. But I'm 100% in favor of this. I think it's long overdue. This is what we're trying to do in the city of Revere, bring businesses into the city. And this is one business that I can speak favorably of, that I know will be working not only in their own best interest, but in the best interest of the people that live on the boulevard, that live in the city of Revere. And, there's been a lot of people sitting at home waiting to get out of the pandemic and go out and have a meal or a beverage. And I think the sooner that this place can get open will be the better for those people and for the city of Revere and everyone involved. So I support this so strongly this evening. It just will be a plus for the city. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Council. Is there anybody else that would like to be a proponent? Yes, Deputy Cheever. Are you muted?
I got it. Thank you. So we kind of got off a little rough start down here on the remodel, but I think we're on the right track now. It's nice to see that Bianchi's has what they were originally promised down here with a window for people to come up and get slices. They did a great job at relocating their ovens so they can meet the goal of what they used to have when they were down the street. You can get up and get a slice of pizza right up the window. You can go inside, have a beer, have a pizza. That is awesome. Everything's set up beautifully. The only issue I do have was they pulled the kitchen out. So there used to be a kitchen in the back. Right now, that's just a clean room. So, we're being told right now, other proteins and salads, I like to see you get a little further along with defining that. I was down there the other day. We walked the property. We talked about some issues with the fire alarm system, but everyone was completely cooperative. They're going to take care of those issues for us. I just think you need to get us a little further along what you're actually planning on doing with the kitchen, because now if you bring a kitchen back, your Ansel system, there's a lot of other details that need to be worked out. So I think you need to speed up on that part and get it done. Now, on the other thing, when this was Renzo's, there was issues with the neighbors in terms of an old administration with stacks coming off the clay pizza ovens, and all that's gone. So this is a great business now. The issues that were there before related to those other old pizza ovens is gone. That roof's closed up. The pizza oven's off to the side. Let the customers come up. I think this is a great improvement in the business, and I'm looking forward to getting back there and getting my pizza. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy. Are there any other proponents? Anybody else like to speak on behalf of this application?
I'd be happy to speak on behalf. I am Frank Licata. I own a unit at 383 Boulevard, the small condo building right next door, and I'm active on the board as well. And I think I personally would be happy to have Bianchi's back, as was stated. We all remember Bianchi's, and it fits. Pizza and beer and maybe a broader liquor license fits with the nature of the beach as it's developing. So I'm a proponent.
Thank you very much, sir. Ms. Wood, do you want to speak?
Yes, I just want to say thank you for all the people that are supporting us, and thank you to the Bianchi family for working with me. Additionally, the kitchen, I know we need to get a kitchen going, but we're really working on doing a lot of cold kitchen items at this point, because at the time when Renzo left, they removed a lot of the items that were in the kitchen, including the hood and all of the items. They basically just ripped the whole kitchen out on us. So to replace that in the pandemic is very costly at this moment, and we're just trying to get as much done as possible and open, and then continue to add items as we go.
Thank you very much. Are there any other proponents? Anybody else like to speak on behalf? I don't see or hear anybody. Are there any opponents? Is anybody opposed to this application?
Yes, hi.
Give your name and address, please.
Sure. Hold on one second, sorry. Yes, hi, my name is Lenore Parsons. I live at 391A Revere Beach Boulevard rear, pretty much behind this establishment. I just want to say we're not against this, all right? My children happen to love Bianchi's, but I do have some concerns. They're asking for 92 seats inside. The prior license only had 69 seats. At one point, it says that they're going to have 4 tables of 16 outside, but the diagram is telling me they're going to have 2 tables. Two people on 10 tables. So I'm trying to figure out what information is correct.
Council, can you answer that question?
Most certainly I can. So we are, because of the layout that is much improved, because we have the window for Bianchi, so that's how you're going to get your pizza slices. We're able to expand somewhat the interior. So as a result, we're able to increase the amount of seating we have, and we are required to comply with the building code requirements as well as the bathroom requirements. So everything is going to be up to code and consistent with what the city of Revere requires with regard to the interior. And with regard to the exterior, there are in fact 10 tables outside with 2 people per table. Some of them look like they're 4 tops, so you might have that, but we basically have 20 people sitting outside, and it's shown in the plans that were submitted.
Okay, because if you look at page 33 of your application, it says 4 tables, 16 chairs. That's just why I'm asking.
Yeah, I think there was, I apologize, there was a resubmission because the original application, and it had come over on the 17th because the architect had given us the prior iteration instead of the current iteration. So what it shows are actually, it's hard for me to show you, but if I apologize, commissioners, but can you see the outside? So you can see right here, this is the outside. And each half circle represents a seat. Can you see that, Mr. Parsons?
No, this is actually Laura. I can't because for some reason the YouTube video is very far behind.
Oh,
okay,
I'm sorry.
So I understand.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. All right, because like I said, all right, my next question for you is, where are you getting the 30 parking spots?
Behind the building?
Exactly where behind the building? Behind the property that actually abuts the building? Or the property that's on the other side of the road?
I think on the other side.
Because you can't get.
Go ahead.
There is only one parking lot for Renzo's, and that is directly behind that location.
Right.
There is no other parking lot in that neighborhood.
Right, but it's the property that the Wood family owns.
No, I understand that, but it's not a parking lot. The parking lot has to have a screened area between the parking lot, structures, residences, and educational use shall be 6 feet in width and shall have a screened landscape and a stockade fence.
Right.
That
if you go to get that permitted now, and it's a site plan, you do, but it's currently permitted, right? I mean, it's currently parked upon now and had been with Renzo's.
Yes, but it's not a parking lot. And if you're going to use it as a parking lot, then it has to follow the city's ordinance in regards to a private parking lot.
Well, it can be a legally existing non-conforming parking lot, which means it doesn't comply with current codes, but rather complies with the code at the time it was approved. So that's really what ends up happening, but there is sufficient parking and always has been, and that's what Renzo's had used.
And is that the only other land you're going to use to park cars?
At this time, I believe so, unless there's some need to increase it and we have to do that. But yes, and I do want to just add, and I apologize, the Bianchi family would love to be able to be heard at some point if the commissioner, if the chair ends up recognizing him. I don't mean to interrupt, Mr. Parsons, but I did just get something saying that. Please continue. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now you're also going to have dancing. Are you going to be removing seating and tables when people are going to be dancing?
So
where's the dance floor?
Sure. So it's not necessary when you have to say, so if I may be a little pedantic. So whenever you go in for an entertainment license, what you always want to do is be very global. So to the extent you want people even standing by chairs because there's music going on and they're dancing, believe it or not, that's a violation unless you've already required or told people that that's what you're going to do. So the reason why we end up including this very long list of things is because these are things that people could do. Are we going to remove tables to allow people to dance? I mean, you can't really do that unless you literally physically remove them because you can't block fire lanes, which are really the distances between tables. So it's truly just meant so people can stand up and dance. There is no dance floor here now.
All right. As you're probably aware, and I know the Dillon family is aware, we had numerous problems with the prior tenant in regards to the deliveries. Trucks blocking the roadway, trucks blocking the boulevard. Where are your deliveries going to come in? Where are your deliveries going to be stopping?
The same as before, the back and the front. So we have the back doors, so they would be parked and pulled in sometimes in the rear. But if you have issues relative to access, I mean, I would ask you to contact the Dillon family immediately, and they'll resolve the issue for you, because there's no intent to impact and or take away from any of the abutting property owners' rights to access their homes or businesses.
Yes, but so I understand that, but you're telling me that while I'm stuck on the boulevard in 90-degree weather, I have to call a Dillon to have them move one of the trucks that are blocking the roadway?
No, but I am telling you that if we can't predict everything that's going to happen, but if you are disenfranchised in any way, you do need to just speak up, let us know, and we'll resolve it. I mean, I can't.
Well, no, see, we're asking the licensing board to require. We're asking the licensing board to require the deliveries not to block the roadway, not to be on the roadway in any way, shape, or form in a parked position, so that we can get in and out on our own.
I'm sorry, but I don't see that as realistic. Where would you have them deliver? How would you have them deliver? We can do it through.
The trucks back down the road and back in behind Renzo's all the time.
Pardon me. We can do it through prescribed times. In other words, deliveries through at a particular time period. But I mean, if the business has to have deliveries, how can we guarantee that you can't block the driveway or the roadway at any time? That seems to be unrealistic to me. You're going to have to accommodate each other. That's the idea of a neighborhood. Everybody accommodates each other. If you have a problem, you deal with the neighbor and they fix it. This family has been in the city for quite a long time. I think that they understand the people of the city and they know what that area is about. And I don't think that you're going to have a problem with this thing. But, you know, if you do, we can always revisit this stuff. None of this stuff is ever etched in stone. We work with it. And if we need to adjust it going along, then that's what we'll do. But I mean,
all right,
those types of things.
Just wait.
You know,
I just have one question. Ms. Parsons, is there another road that you can exit other than going up Renzo's driveway or Dillon's driveway?
It's kind of funny you ask that, because at this moment right now, we do have another exit. It goes all the way down to the Atlantica condos. But the problem is one of the tenants of, I believe the building owned by one of the Dillons, Mal, their tenant blocks the roadway. So no, I have no other way to get out but the passageway between Renzo's and Santorini's.
Well, I guess, you know, I'm familiar with the area. And if any car is blocking a roadway, it can be towed. You can't do that. I know there is a road there that you can take, which is wide open. You can take that road and you could exit there if need be. So I think I would make a call to the parking department and speak to them. No car can block a legal side street. And I know what you're saying. I've seen it myself. That is not allowed. So you do have another exit other than waiting to get up the driveway to go to the beach if there's.
No, you're right. All right. A couple of the questions. The basement, that's still for stock? Or are they going to be washing dishes at all hours with the door open?
Counselor, I think what we want to address here in a bigger picture is the noise coming out of the restaurant. All right.
Thank you.
I know that there was some concern about live music after a certain time. When we initially gave this license, we restricted the music and made it end at 1 o'clock. And that if there was live music playing after 10 o'clock, all the doors were supposed to be closed so that noise was leaking out into the neighborhood.
That makes abundant sense.
And so to that end, there's also a back door there, which, you know, if it's left open, then you're hearing the clatter and rattle from the kitchen. So that kind of stuff needs to be addressed for the neighbors so that they can enjoy their property as well. As long as you can address that kind of stuff, I think, you know, you'll satisfy the neighbors in the area.
And
Yes.
And Ms. Wood intends to be a good neighbor. She has not operated this restaurant in quite a long time. The Wood family is going to do, or the Dillon family is going to do a very nice job, and Marianne, with regard to this new business, is going to do a great job. Bianchi's is a known entity, and we will keep the doors closed after a certain time. We don't want there to be noise emanating. We don't want bad neighbors. So that is not a problem.
All right, and one final concern. Where are the people going to be when they're waiting for their pizza? Where are they physically waiting? Because I was told by the building department that they would not be waiting outside and they were going to be waiting inside for their pizza. But based on your plan, are they going to be standing in the roadway that I travel to wait for their pizza?
Well, just like it used to be on the other side of Revere Beach, when you go up to get a slice, you wait in the front. You don't go inside, order it. That's the whole point of that outside part. So you do wait there. If you go inside to order, then you'd wait inside. Unfortunately, now, because of the pandemic, you can't wait inside. So everybody waits outside. And they'll be on the Woods property. I mean, the Dillon's property. So
they'll be on the sidewalk in front of the establishment and not on the passageway beside it.
I mean, they own, I believe that passageway is owned by the Dillon family.
They own 10 feet of it. That is correct. And then the other side, the other 10 feet is the passageway.
Yeah. So they're going to, I mean, again, these are all kind of hypothetical arguments. We are going to tell people stay in a certain area. People aren't going to go and meander about outside. If they're going to go inside, they're going to maybe have a drink while waiting to get, a large pizza delivered or a salad. With regard to, as I said, slices, definitely outside. With regard to ordering, if they go inside to order, they're going to stay inside. So, if there's an issue, again, as the chairperson said, we will end up just being notified and we'll correct if there's a problem. But we intend to use property that belongs to the Dillon family. That's what the intent is.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your comments.
Are there any other opponents? Anybody else opposed?
Yes, good morning, evening. Yes, my name is Ed Parsons. I own the property behind, between the Dillon Zone and behind the restaurant. I have no problem. I think the Yankee pizza is fine there, but I do have a couple of questions on the application. On the, it says there are 3 doors. I can't find 3 doors on the drawing. On the front of it, it shows 2 screen doors, but one of those doors is not there. The door on the left that is just face the building has been taken out, and there's a roll-up door there. That wouldn't be, when they close, or it's closed for weather, that wouldn't be a fire escape. So I don't see 3 exit doors.
I'm sorry, sir. I only picked up half of what you said. Can
okay. I only see 3 exit doors. I don't see 3 exit doors as it shows in the drawing.
Okay.
There are 3 exit doors on the drawing. Remember, there had been the architect had an iteration and didn't submit it, and then that supplemental submittal, there are clearly 3 doors. Here I go again. This is my high-tech screen. I can share if you wanted me to, but you can see the 3 doors. There's 1, 2, and then 1 in back. 3. Can you see them all? I mean, it's hard to see them when I'm trying to do it like that, but there are most certainly 3 doors. 1, 2, 3.
No, yeah.
Excuse me. Would it help if I allowed her to share her screen?
Yeah.
Chairman.
Would you like me to share?
It would be helpful.
Okay, yeah.
There's 3 doors. There's 2 doors in the front,
Yeah.
1 in the back.
Yeah.
Okay, the door on the left in the front is not there. The door that shows on this drawing is not there.
It has been removed. So they put an overhead door and the doors in to the right. So they made
That
it
overhead,
a little breezeway.
that overhead door.
I was just there. I was just there.
Okay, there's an overhead door. There's another door now. So in other words, you have to go from, if there was a problem, you have to go through out that side, go through the door into where Yankees, you then be serving that pizza and go out that overhead door as long as it's open. That's the setup there.
How does this affect you? The door's there. There's an overhead door that's open. There's a door to the right to go into the establishment.
Okay, all right. Next thing is the 3 doors in the front on their permit. The doors closed at 10 o'clock whenever there was entertainment. Is that going to stay the same on this as it was on the last one? Keep the noise down for the people who live around there?
Well, I think, yes, that's what we said, that if they were going to play music after 10 o'clock, the doors had to be closed.
As long as there's music inside.
I beg your pardon?
Right. Yeah, okay, so doors have to be closed at 10 o'clock. The 3 accordion doors have to be closed at 10 o'clock at night.
If they're playing music inside, yes.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Okay, I think I got one more for you. If just by chance they were going to bring in entertainment in them, or if the Yankees want to bring another guy into work over the 4 people, they only got to wait until after 6. They have an occupancy of 98. They're saying 6 people to work. That's waitresses, 4 people to make pizza and serve pizza at the Yankees, and possibly a 3-piece band in there. What would they be doing? Would they be moving people out of there so they could do this? Now that they'd be over their occupancy.
Yes. You're limited by what your occupancy is, yes.
Yeah, so in other words, if they were going to bring a band in there, we're going to see them take out a table and 4 chairs, and if they have more than 6 waitresses and people making pizzas, they'll be taking chairs out for that same reason.
At all points in time, they will comply with the building code requirements for the limit on occupancy.
Wouldn't you have to move tables out?
All right, as long as we understand. Otherwise, like I said, we have no problem with Bobby coming in with the pizza. And we're just hoping that we can get in and out of the side driveway, which is another big thing. But that's our things, and I hope he does very well then. Okay, thank you for your time, and I understand it. Sometimes people have stupid questions, but we thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Are there any other proponents or opponents? Anybody want to speak on behalf of this that hasn't? Or against?
I
Yes.
think the Bianchis do.
Yeah. Hi, this is my name's Derek Bianchi. I'm here with my brother Bobby and the rest of my family. Oh. Thank you for all the nice things that you were saying about having us around for so long. And thank you for letting us speak today. I was just wondering if with the kitchen on the other side that's getting ready for permits to be approved and all the equipment put in, is there a way for us to open the pizza side for just takeout only, maybe for the time being, while we wait for the other licenses to be approved?
I have no problem with it, but I think it would be up to inspectional services. Paul Trevas would probably have to approve that, and Michael Wells. If they approved it, I would have no problem with it.
So if I can, thank you. I'm going to follow up with, I'm going to go down and see the contractor again now that I have a full understanding of what's going on here. It's just like every other establishment. I don't see why they can't have pizza and beer. You know, it's just try to find out what the future plans are. We're going to talk about some of the entertainment things, which will also come into effect with the fire department, the fire protection system. So there'll be further conversations on that. But, you know, I'll see if Mr. Wells has anything to say, but I have no issue with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll definitely consider that, but just keep in mind that food is required with any type of alcohol at this point. So if somebody doesn't eat pizza, then they have a problem.
Yeah, well, we were just considering doing takeout while we wait for the alcohol license to be approved because we're separate from that. So we'd only be doing pizza, you know, through delivery and takeout.
I will say that depends on where you are with the build. So what you can probably do is talk to the building commissioner, talk to Lewis. You can probably get an occupancy based upon your inspections, and you know you can't be making dust in there where you guys are making pizza. So you're going to be further along than where you are currently. But I don't see an issue with using the takeout window to start selling pizza.
Great, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Very good, thank you. So just so I'm clear, you gentlemen wouldn't have a problem with the place opening as a takeout and waiting for the rest of the kitchen to be done, right? Is that so? I guess what I'm hearing is that their facilities are safe and up to snuff to do the pizza. Is that what I'm getting?
So I'm gonna say he has to do the modifications to the fire alarm system, but based on my walk-in of the building the other day, the wall finishes are done. They have a washable surface in that kitchen where the kitchen was before. They have a wash area, 3-bay sink. Mike can speak on that. They got a 3-bay sink set up. They got a high temperature washer set up downstairs. So I think they're almost there. If they wanted to sell pizza, I don't think there's anything heavy that's going to be creating any kind of dust or anything like that, other than probably pulling some wires to do some corrections to the fire alarm system. So from my standpoint, I don't have an issue.
Thank you very much, Deputy Inspector Wells. Do you agree with that?
I don't anticipate any issues. I mean, they're still, the second kitchen is still under construction as long as that's blocked off, like Deputy Chief has said, as long as they're not creating dust. It's a takeout business only at that point until the rest of the restaurant is finished.
Thank you very much. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions or comments?
No, I think the speakers answered all of my questions, and it looks like it's going ahead forward, and they're going to work with the neighbors. So I have no problem. And as far as doing a takeout at this time, as long as it is signed off by the inspectional services, I see no reason why they can't start selling pizza to go.
Chairman, I do have a raised hand.
Yes, Mr. Clark. You're muted, sir. Unmute. There you go.
Yeah, just real quick. I own property at 383 Revere Beach Boulevard. I'm a proponent of this and very excited to have it happening, basically mimicking a lot of what we heard. So I just wanted my point across.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate the input. Is there anybody else that needs to comment or would like to say something? Seeing and hearing no one, I will bring it. I want to make a motion to approve this. And my motion would be that we approve it with the caveat that live music, ends at 1 o'clock. And that if live music is playing beyond 10 o'clock, that the doors must be closed. The other would be that the deliveries, I'm not sure how we can work with the deliveries. Does anybody Council, do you have a suggestion on how we can work with the deliveries?
I mean, we're going to make, best efforts to make sure that we don't block anyone, but I think that with the current management that it's not going to be a problem. And if, somebody pulls up, it'd be a momentary thing. We're not going to block it so that there's a permanent encumbrance. And there is a way in and a way out. I think, Commissioner Guanasso said it, there are ways to get around, but we will make sure. And if there's a complaint, they're going to tell us and we're going to resolve it. I think that we can't really put in place something based on a possibility that we don't really know about right now.
I would agree with that. Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you.
Well, so that would be my motion to approve it. Live music, any music after 10, all the doors have to be closed.
Okay, and just on that note, are we going to approve them to open immediately for takeout only?
Yes, we'd approve the licenses and then they would do their takeout business and they'd have to wait for the rest of the approvals from the other inspectors before they could get an occupancy to do the rest of it.
Right, so the common vic will trigger before the all alcohol license, right? Because the common vic we need for the Yankees to open. Okay, that's perfect.
So we can get our pizza early.
I agree.
Anything
I love those big slices.
Anything that we've voted on today, again, as my commissioners have said, we can always revisit anything that has to be tweaked a little bit. But so the only thing I would ask is on the neighbor's behalf that no deliveries would be delivered before 7 in the morning. I think that's what we do with most of our donut shops and where it is residential in the back. So, I mean, I'd like to keep them after 7 in the morning.
I don't think that's a problem. I know most restaurants don't even start to have their sous chefs come in until around, 8. I think is the Bianchi's really, is that never an issue for you?
No, that's fine. We don't usually have deliveries until once we're open anyway.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Counselor. Do I have a second on that motion?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. So the application for Bianchi's at the Sandbar for an all-alcohol restaurant license, the application at 381 Revere Beach LLC for alcohol restaurant license and license to be exercised at 381 Revere Beach Boulevard. The requested seating is 92 plus 20 seasonal outside seats. Proposed hours are Sunday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Proposed entertainment is TV, vocal, instrumental music, and dancing by patrons. If music, live music is to stop at 1 a.m. If live music is playing after 10 p.m., all doors must be closed. And that license is approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Take care and have a good remainder of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Good luck, Bobby. Item 8, is that where we are?
Nope.
No, I'm 7.
Well, number 7, I think, is continued, isn't it? Is there a continuance on number 7?
Is there a continuance? I don't see one. So let's go ahead and see what we have. Item number 7, Coleman's Corporation, DBA Taqueria Coloma, 425 Revere Beach Boulevard. Daniel Diego is the manager. It's an application for a malt wine restaurant license. The application of Coleman's Corporation, DBA Taqueria Coloma, 425 Revere Beach Boulevard, Daniel Diego manager, for a malt wine restaurant license for an existing restaurant. Said license should be exercised at the same location. The requested seating to remain at 15 inside, 24 outside. Requested hours to remain Sunday, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m., Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. No requested entertainment. Is there someone here speaking on behalf of Coleman's Corporation?
He has to unmute. Daniel, you'll have to unmute.
Diego, you have to unmute your microphone. Thank you.
Hello?
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm Daniel Diego brother, and I'm here too. Okay, pretty much, he applied to sell, malt and wine, and well, pretty much he started working with a food truck, and when he see the opportunity to see in Revere, because pretty much in the area was no Mexican food, he started with the restaurant. After that, people started asking for beer or something like that, and it's pretty much he decided he started applying for. Yeah, because they like dinners, like people start asking, like pretty much taking as a part of the dinner, or friends, couples, something like that. They start, yeah, and that way they can enjoy the food and enjoy the view of the beach and all those kind of things, and trying to work with the city of Revere too, and that way is why he decided to apply.
Thank you very much, sir. Would any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
Have you gotten all the permits from the inspectional services?
Yes, we do.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, and you're applying for the alcohol, not for outdoors, but indoors?
Yeah, indoors.
Right, because you have outdoor seating.
Indoors, and we have 3 tables outside.
Right, but alcohol cannot be served outside.
Well, it's yeah, it is like that. It's okay.
That's DC. I believe you're on DCR property.
I'm not too sure. That is my brother's restaurant. I'm not. I'm not even sure how exactly, because I think it's my nephew, he have been getting all this information, but at the moment he is not here. He's on a little loose about this kind of information.
Okay, but you can't serve alcohol outside, sir. And
Okay,
if you would need permission from DCR, who gave you permission to put the tables outside, correct?
Yeah, we get the permits, we get the permits from the city and
Lo que nos dijeron que tenemos que pedir permiso a los encargados de la banqueta.
Okay.
Hemos comunicado 3 veces con ellos y no nos han contestado.
Okay, yeah, he's okay. My brother's in the side. He said he tried to make contact with the people who is in charge about the walk sign, and for some reason they don't answer yet. But it's okay for the moment. Or the rules work like that to get only inside. Well, it's okay.
Yes. We don't serve alcohol outside at all. And
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's inside. That's inside. Well, it is inside. No problem with that.
okay. I'd like to hear from the inspectional services.
Mr. Diego, I have a question for you. You made reference to you said your nephew's going to be getting this information. Who's your nephew that you speak of?
Okay, that's his
nephew to your business.
Okay, that's his my brother's son.
Is he going to be working in the restaurant?
No, he's not. He's like at school, but pretty much he have the information about the papers, all the process. Is why I'm a little loose. I don't really know what is going on.
Okay.
But in this moment, he is not here. He's on vacation, and it's why I'm trying to help my brother.
Who's going to be the on-premises manager, sir?
My brother, Danny Diego.
Danny Diego? Is that Daniel Diego, the applicant?
Yeah.
And who's going to be responsible to make sure that he understands the rules associated with serving alcohol beverages on the premises?
Well, he understands. The thing is, he don't feel comfortable to talk sometimes. It's like,
are you here acting as his translator today?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so can you ask him for me? Who's going to be responsible to make sure he understands the rules associated with serving alcohol on the premises?
Well, he's on my side. He understands. If you want, he can answer you. Okay. He's going to take responsibility for that.
And the time restrictions associated thereof?
Hello?
I said, and the time restrictions associated with serving alcohol beverages.
What do you mean? I'm sorry, I don't get that.
Does he understand that there are certain time restrictions associated with?
Yeah, he do. Yeah, he have all the information. That's what I said. I'm sorry, I'm a little loose because this is the first time that I'm trying to help him.
It's okay. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, I have a couple questions. Now, how is this going to work? I have been in your place. I see that you have 5 tables inside. I'm going to walk up to the counter, order a beer, and go take that beer to my table?
Well, we're going to service.
Well, how are you going to do that?
Well, if we have to change that door, how you say the counter, we just change the door, that one. It's like, I know that's a little inconvenient, you want to call it like that, that's fine, I know. And that's why we can change the door to be more easy to open it.
Yeah, you see, here's my problem. I mean, I've seen restaurant beach businesses, okay? You have people at the window or at your counter. Once you, unless you're going to have waitress service?
Well, usually it's like, it doesn't require, well, we have to, but just, that's because I know that when you talk about that door, yeah, it is a little inconvenient, but that was that's not big that we can change it to put something like.
I see this as being a problem. I see this as being something that you can't control, because once you give that can of beer, you're busy waiting on the next customer. No one's following that can of beer anywhere. So that thing can end up on the beach, can end up outside. I just see this as being a situation that's really difficult to control, and I see it as a problem waiting to happen. And I don't see that you really have thought this through, unless you can tell me otherwise.
Well, that's what I say. If we need to work in some areas or some aspects, well, we are able to do it. We just need to get the right information. This is the first time pretty much that we are dealing with this. And my brother, he started with a food truck. And when he decided to open the restaurant, this is the first time that we are working in this. And I know, and that's pretty much what we say. If we need to work in some areas, we have to, how you say, change the door. Well, it's no problem. We do it because that's what I say. This is the first time that we are working in this kind of business, you know? And
you know, I can see how you might think this would be, you know, something that would help your business, but if you can't set it up and control it properly, it's only going to hurt your business because you're going to end up with all kinds of problems. And you know, I would have a problem. Has your brother, is he tip certified? Has he gone to any type of training in alcohol service at all?
well, that's what I say. I'm a little loose with that. He get all the information. He have all the papers and everything. He have all the process. He's been in a process for a little while. But that's what I say. For me, it's a little hard to answer a specific question like that for that reason. This is the first time that I help him, and I'm a little loose at what I say because I don't know what kind of process he's doing. I'm pretty much, that's what I say, trying to translate him, help him, but it's why I'm pretty much loose in these questions, let's say.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Councilor Powers?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. With regard to the license request before us, I'm watching the meeting and I seem to see a lot of uncertainty here with regard to the operation of the establishment. And I'd also like to know if they have the proper egresses. I know there's a front door. I've been through the front door when it was a coffee shop. I'm not sure. There's just too many uncertainties, you know, and I'd like the deputy to get down there and take a look at the property if he hasn't already, and ascertain whether or not everything is in compliance. Barring that being done, I'd like to ask that this be continued to the next meeting. Thank you.
Okay.
So my only concern right now is he's saying he's going to move the counter and change the door. So usually when we're going to give, forgive me if I misspeak here, but usually if we're going to give a liquor license, that stuff is already in proposal or done, not something you're going to do after the fact. So it's kind of hard to review this right now without really understanding what he's trying to do here. So I think we need a little more information to make the decision from my standpoint. I know there's a great kitchen in there it was done over a couple of years ago, and there's some great equipment in there. But as far as how he's going to handle this front part, I'm a little confused right now myself.
Okay. In other words, that's mean we need to work first in that door, that counter, pretty much.
I think you need to come forward with a plan on what you're planning on doing with the counter and with the door, and how you're going to control serving of the alcohol. And when you have that solved a little better, so you can present that to us, I think we can make a better decision.
Okay, that's my 10.
Thank you very much, sir. I will close this section of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Anybody want to speak on behalf of the license who hasn't? I don't.
Rob, I just have one comment. I have to agree with what you said earlier as far as the concept is a walk-up concept to the counter, and then once you know they receive the alcohol, they turn around, they're not sure where it's going. So it's a little bit different with a walk-up service versus a full-service restaurant, where they have a little bit more control when there's a server bringing in, watching the tables at all times.
Thank you very much. Counselor, did you want to say something?
Yes, I think Mr. Wells hits on a great point. I've been in that establishment before. I don't see how they could possibly control alcohol being served in there unless they were actually sitting at tables as required by the commission, and not just walking up to a counter and ordering a beer and God knows where they're going. We have an elderly residence, namely the Jack Satter House, living right next to that property. And I certainly wouldn't want to see people coming out of there at night, drinking loud noises, etc. We don't need that. So I would ask that at the very least, you continue this until the next meeting. And as Deputy Chief has requested, bring in a floor plan, a door plan.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay.
Sir, so we can vote on this or you can withdraw it. You can do whatever. Let me continue the hearing and we can just bring it to a conclusion unless someone wants to make a motion to continue it.
Okay.
I would have no problem continuing it. Give him a month, see if he can go and get with the inspectional services and have them come back and give us a report on what they think. As far as, I think it's very small. Again, I do agree with the previous speakers. I don't know how you would control alcohol at this particular establishment.
Well, sir, so we can do this. We can continue this for a month and we can give you an opportunity to go out and research and fix and see what it is you can do to control this and maybe bring it back and see if you could get a favorable vote. My impression is now that if you were to get a vote, it's probably going to get voted down. So that's up to you. Do you want us to continue?
We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait.
You want to withdraw?
Yeah.
Very good. I'll make a motion to withdraw and do this for 30 days.
Okay, thank you.
Do I have a second on that?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. The intention to continue this for 30 days is approved. Thank you, sir. Good.
Control de la... Tiene sentido, porque se la agarra.
Brothers Auto Body, 16 Naples Road, Kenneth G. LaFosse, manager. This is an application for a Class 2 motor vehicle dealer's license. The application of Kenneth G. LaFosse, DBA Brothers Auto Body, for a Class 2 motor vehicle dealer's license, said license to be exercised at 16 Naples Road. The hours of operation to be Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Requested number of cars for sale to be 2. This is continued from our March meeting. Is there someone here on behalf of Brothers Auto Body? Kenneth, you need to unmute.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Name and address for the record, please, sir.
Hi, I'm Ken LaFosse, 44 Tibble Lane, Topsail, Mass.
Thank you very much. And can you tell us what your plans are for this license?
I had the license for years, and I think I met all my requirements now, affidavits and everything. And I've been trying to get it back in the last meeting. I need to get back to work, and that's just a big part of my business, is buying and selling cars.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Do any of my commissioners have any questions?
I have a few questions.
Yes, sir, Commissioner Orsini.
Mr. LaFosse, what's the current status of the outstanding taxes that's owed to the city?
The only taxes that owe now are my fines. They're in Chelsea Port.
So you paid all your taxes to date?
Everything's paid to date except the fines. The fines are.
Do you recall how much you paid in taxes? Do you recall the amount?
I don't know at this point.
And how about, and since your license has been pending, have you operated, or in what form have you been operating in your current establishment?
I've been struggling. I've been really struggling. I've been doing, we had with epidemic body work. No one really been driving. It hasn't been what it used to be. I've been really struggling, and the way I make my money is buying, selling, and fixing cars.
And how have you been operating in the premises to date?
I've been struggling. Like I said, I've been doing body work. I've been getting cars from the airport, doing rental cars from the airport, And I'm really struggling.
That's all the questions I have right now, but I'd like to make a general statement before we vote.
Thank you very much. I'll close this section. Any proponents? Anybody want to speak on behalf of this application? I don't see or hear any. Are there any opponents? Is anybody opposed to this? Yes, Deputy Cheever.
I'm not going to speak as a proponent or an opponent. I just want to speak in general terms. The resources that Mr. LaFosse has taken since 2016 from the city, from my department, from the legal department, from the building department, to get him in compliance is astounding. You know, is he in compliance now with his building? Yes. Is he in compliance with the other order for him to stop using the clear channel sign as a place to store his cars in various levels of repair? No. It's the gateway to the city. When you come into the city and come into that rotary, the first thing you see is that sign and his junk cars and cars in just levels of repair underneath. So he still hasn't complied with that. I understand it's a very tight area over there. He's got another business downstairs. He needs to reevaluate how he's doing business, if that's what he has to do. The issue is as far as the taxes go and the fines are already a tax levy. It's beyond his time to appeal those fines. So they're a tax levy, so they need to be paid. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to let the commission make its decision. You know, you had the felony convictions, you had this, state police up here several times in a couple of years past. You know the history. Thank you.
Thank you very much, deputies. Anybody else that would like to speak either for or against the license? I don't see or hear anyone. I'll just comment briefly. To my mind, this is a pretty clear-cut situation. Mr. LaFosse has had, several run-ins with the law regarding the sale and repair of vehicles, which relate directly to being a Class 2 motor vehicle dealer. And so, to my mind, that's a disqualifier. And so, I am not going to vote to approve this. And so if someone else wants to make a motion to approve it, fine. I would make a motion that we don't approve it.
Well, if nobody's going to make a motion, as everyone knows, I worked very hard with Mr. LaFosse, the fire department, the special services. I've done the most I can for Mr. LaFosse. I don't like to see anyone lose their license. He has, in the past month, living near the area, has made a big change in the area. But as Deputy Cheever said, he's still using the billboard. But I do understand, and I hope I'm right, that he's not going to be able to use that anymore because that's going to be made a fire lane. And I hope I'm correct on that goes through the city council very shortly. So I, at this point, have a hard time on how I can vote on this. I hate to see him lose his license. I have to be honest with you. I don't like taking anyone's license. So I'm going to give the floor to Commissioner Oshina.
Thank you.
See how he feels.
So when this came before the commission at the last meeting, I hesitated because I felt like I didn't have enough information at that time to confidently vote one way or the other. I wanted an opportunity to understand who Mr. LaFosse is and understand the nature of his business. I've learned over the last 30 days, this is an individual who's been in business for 30 plus years. I think at one point, based on the many folks that I've spoken to that has reached out to me in the commission over the last 30 days, at one point or another operated a pretty successful and reputable business. At some point, I've read his reviews online. All has been positive, from Facebook reviews to the Google reviews. I did a little bit of research in that. I've spoken to some of the neighboring businesses next to Brothers Auto Body, and there were some mixed reviews there, but I understand the nature of that business and it's very competitive. So I can only credit that to a certain extent. However, I can't ignore the almost blatant usurp of authority that I've seen from the record that Mr. LaFarce has engaged in over the years. It's something that I truly can't ignore when really assessing whether to move to approve this license. As Mr. Sheever pointed out, state police has been in front of this commission. We've received reports. We can't ignore the conviction, the outstanding fines that have been levied. And I'm not confident, as my fellow Commissioner Ganasso pointed out, that the fire lanes would even stop the almost blatant circumvent of authority that it seems like Mr. LaFarce has perpetually engaged in over the past decade or more. I think that I'm no one to judge or to indicate one way or the other how this man is going to make a living without this license, but I do have to have some level of confidence that these licenses are given to residents or folks in the city to operate and have some level of autonomy to conduct business lawfully without having the commission appear over their shoulders. And we have to be able to trust that that person is going to do business the right way. And it seems to me, I'll give you one example. I, went down to Naples Road a few times, and during the week, you don't see many cars riddled that road. It's a very small, tight road. But then on the weekends, it's flooded. I live right next to it. I drive that rotary every single day. So it seems to me there's some times where when eyes are circling that area, things get cleaned up. But when we're not looking, they fall right back to where it typically is, which is a mess and a fire hazard and presents a problem to the overall neighborhood. So at this point, I would move not to approve the license. I hope that Mr. LaFarce figures out his history here and make the necessary amendments and come back at some point. But at this point in time, I don't have the confidence that I would need to move to approve it at this particular time. So if I would, that would be my standing motion to deny the application as presented, and I would need a second.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Rossini. Yes, Mr. LaFarce?
Yes, can I just say something?
Sure.
Back in 2016, when all this stuff happened, I didn't own the building, right? I wasn't owning the building. I wasn't renting downstairs. Downstairs was rented out to Juan's Auto. I had no control over that, okay? I just purchased this building in 2018, August 28th of 2018. A week after I purchased the building, I put Al Fester on the building. He wouldn't let me do anything to this building, right, until I bought it, right? That was the leverage he had. I did everything I can to, the day I bought this building, I did everything, every possible thing. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars putting fire alarms in, and spray booth in, putting everything in. As far as the state police, the same state police since 2010 been on me and on me, on me. All right, I'm in an appeal. Jim Cepeda was supposed to be here today. I don't know what happened to him, but he has a letter from my attorney that it's being appealed. It's just like, I just need a chance. If without this license, I'm out of business. I'm gone. I'm struggling here. I just need another chance. I need another chance of just getting my license back. I have cars that I bought, 2 years ago that I can't do nothing with. I have this car sitting here. I can't sell them. I can't do anything. I'm pleading with you. I've been here for over 33 years. I've been here. Never really had a problem. And it's mowing on the street. I don't know weekends. I don't know where the cars come from weekends. I'm open Saturdays from 8 to 12, and there's no cars here. Sundays, there's no cars here. I own a house across the street, 3-family house. I own the lot beside house. There's no cars parked on the street. I don't know where the weekends, how these cars are getting here. I don't understand it. I'm only on Saturdays from 8 to 12, and I'm out of here. There's nothing parked on the street. And at night, there's nothing parked. I'm begging you. I just don't know what to do here. Without this license,
Well, Mr. LaFosse, I understand your predicament. But by the same token, we have an obligation. And that obligation is to protect the citizens from unscrupulous auto dealers. And looking at your record, it's difficult to say otherwise. And so for that matter, I mean, I'm sorry, but I could not in good conscience vote to approve this license. And Commissioner Osina apparently feels the same way. So, I mean, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to come back at another time because he seconded my motion and the license is not gonna be approved.
I would like to at this time be recorded as being present.
So noted. I have, I don't know what else to tell you. We're gonna move on to the next item.
Well, I have nothing to say, nothing to do then, right?
I beg your pardon?
My lawyer was supposed to be here. Jim Sepulveda was supposed to be here. I have a letter from the other attorney. I mean, I'm on an appeal. I mean, you're putting me out of business.
Your appeal has been dismissed.
No,
and
it hasn't been dismissed.
According to the city solicitor, it has. And the other issue is that an appeal doesn't alter your conviction anyway. It's still a conviction. And it's not the only conviction related to auto dealership. If it was, then maybe we would have a different discussion, but it's not. There's been inspection stickers, there's been bribery,
I never had an inspection sticker. I never had a bribery. I had to do a bribery because
Sir, I'm not going to go through the record again. All right, we've been down this road. You understand my position.
You're putting me out of business. You're putting me out of business. I've been here for 33 years. You just put me out of business.
Yourself out of business. It was your actions that resulted in all of this hearings. It was your actions that resulted in all of the fines, fees, and other things. And so that's that. We're going to move on now because
Sorry, it wasn't my fines. It wasn't my fines. I didn't own the building. In 2016, I didn't own the building. Al Festo owned the building. He would not let me do anything to the building. I tried. He wouldn't let me. I purchased this building in August. All right.
Jim Sepulveda
is on this road. How can he can't talk?
We've been down this road, and at this point, we've taken the vote. The vote is as it is.
Well, my attorney been trying to get on.
If you'd like to bring it back up at another time, you're welcome to submit another application. This application is denied, and we're moving on. Thank you. I'm sorry it ended up this way, but that's just the way it's going to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The next item on the agenda, if I can find my agenda, is the Patriot Civic Club. This is a hearing into violations of COVID-19 restrictions, a hearing into violations of health code, state-ordered COVID restrictions, and conditions of license. Is there someone here from Patriot Civic Club?
Don McDonald on behalf of the Patriots Club, and also Bill is here. He's on the screen as well.
Yeah,
I'm an
he's,
attorney representing the Patriots Club, and Bill H is on the line too.
okay, very good. Mr. H is muted. Can you tell us what the situation is here with the Patriot Civic Club?
Absolutely. We're here for a violation. On March 25th, there was a violation in the club. It's a members only club. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the place on 93 Patriots Parkway in Revere. And there was a violation there was 4 or 5 patrons at the bar. I believe they might have been drinking, or they had drinks in front of them, and they weren't served food at that time. There is a kitchen there. The kitchen help, I guess the kitchen was late or whatever. And pre-COVID, I want to bring to the attention of the commission, the board, that there was no restriction where you had to eat. So some of the patrons were used to drinking before the food came. The kitchen help wasn't there at this time. He was late coming in or whatever, and they were violated. At that time also, the inspection, there was a number of violations with the kitchen itself. And since March 25th, my office has been working diligently with the owners and with Mike Wells's office to correct the deficiencies with the inspectional services violations. And what we'd like to do is we're proposing to once we get we have a couple outstanding inspections that haven't been taking place right now. The plumbing inspector's got a final plumbing inspection, and also I believe the hood there's no sticker on the hood right now. So there's a couple compliance issues with the inspectional services. Moving forward, we're committed to have a full-time kitchen help there at all times during the service of the alcohol, and we're going to have periodic COVID sanitizations hopefully only for a short period until the COVID restrictions are lifted. But we'd like to, what we were seeking is to remove the suspension at the time concurrently with the code violation inspection and open and code inspection compliance. So we've already been closed since March 25th based on the violations.
Thank you very much, sir. Inspector Wells, can you enlighten us on this situation?
Absolutely. So on March 17th, I went down there with my food inspector because at that point they had not renewed their food licenses, which expired on December 31st. So we went down there, spoke with Bill. Upon walking in, the bartender, who I believe was Bill at the time, was not wearing a mask. At that time, we spoke to him in regards to renewing his food license. He took action on that very rapidly that same day and took care of that. Fast forward to the next week on March 17th, that was St. Patrick's Day. And they assured me all that everybody was having corned beef and cabbage for lunch at the bar. A week later, we received a complaint that they were advertising on social media, selling food to go, and under their license through the License Commission, they are a members only club and are not authorized to sell any food outside of the premises to regular customers, only their members inside the club. While we were there, we decided to do a kitchen inspection, which they would do for. And when we went in the kitchen was in total darkness. The equipment had not been on. There was barely any food in the kitchen. And there was probably about 10 customers in the club area, patron area, no violations there, except that the kitchen was not in operation while they were serving alcohol. Let me preface this by saying that on the weekend of August 29th or 30th, they were also cited by the ABC for the same type of violation, no masks being worn in the establishment and no food being served as well. So this was not the first violation that has been put on them. So they had one back in August with the ABC. They had a suspension of their license. They had to go to a hearing. They did receive their license back. Then they were found in violation through my office on March 25th. Upon further review, they had multiple permits opened to renovate their kitchens. So when they were using their kitchens, none of them had been signed off on by fire or inspectional services. So they didn't have any proper permits to be using that kitchen that were under renovation at that time.
But thank you very much. Deputy Cheever, do you have any insight into this kitchen and what's going on there with the equipment and?
Thank you. There is a permit in the system right now for some work from One Call to do some work in the kitchen. I responded back to that to contact me to do a full inspection. I haven't been in there to do an inspection. During liquor license inspections in the past, we've usually just inspected the small kitchen upstairs and had access issues to the kitchen downstairs. So at this point, I think we need to do a full inspection of the property.
Very good. Thank you, Deputy. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
I have a question for Mr. Wells. Sorry. I'll yield to Commissioner Denosa.
I just wanted to ask the manager, Mr. Heatherton, what are your hours at the club?
I'll tell him to unmute. Hold on.
How many hours do you spend at the club? Is the manager present?
Yeah, he's muted.
He's muted. Please unmute.
Is he still muted? Okay, I'll fix it. Hold on.
He's off mute. Yeah, he's muted again.
You start talking. I'm sorry about that. My first time on Zoom.
Okay. Can you tell me how many hours are you at the club?
So the hours now at the club at noontime to 9:30 p.m.
But when are you present during this?
I'm there 7 nights a week. I come in there anywhere from 5 to 6 o'clock at night and I lock up the place.
Okay, but during this period of these COVID-19, you were
Yes,
there?
Well, I work over at Harley Davidson during the day, but I'm off 2 days a week and I'm there on my 2 days off too. But I'm there, I go there in the morning to check everything out before I go to work. And then on my 2 days off, I'm there, and then I'm there 7 nights a week. I lock up the place every single night.
So were you aware of these violations that were taking place if you were there?
No, I wasn't aware when Mr. Wells showed up on the 25th that there was no food being served. I was at my other job at that time.
Okay.
But we've opened that kitchen up. We've done a tremendous amount of work there to make it a full operational kitchen for the COVID-19. And as you can imagine, we've been there 80 years, so it was a lot of work to do. Plumbing, electrical, everything. We've done everything that we're supposed to do. And unfortunately, we just need to get more competent people to work the kitchen.
Well, you also have to make sure that they know the rules and regulations of COVID-19.
Correct.
And I saw some pictures of the kitchen, and absolutely, it does need a good steam cleaning in there. And as far as the members, who were you serving meals to go? Who was picking up the meals to go?
Well, unfortunately, we didn't sell any to go. We didn't realize we couldn't do it, but we didn't sell any. But all our members have had the pizza and the subs that we make there, but we didn't sell anything to go yet.
That was a mistake on Facebook, Miss Commissioner. The Facebook wasn't directed. The person that did the Facebook wasn't intending to have any persons having takeout other than the members. The members have always had, it's my understanding, the members, if there was a banquet there or something, the members would be taking food home with them, and they were intending to be able to have takeout for the members only, not open to the public. The whole place is members only.
Okay, so they do understand that. The board does understand that they cannot make meals to go nor advertise takeout service.
Well, I realize that now, correct, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Wells,
Yes, Commissioner.
has your office been back there since you've been in there in March?
They have, it looks like they're making some pretty good headway on their permits. I'm looking at them as we speak. They have one, two, they still have quite a few open. A couple have been closed out, but it looks like they're working on their fire suppression system right now with the fire department.
And the intent is, to Mr. Wells, the intent is we're not doing anything until the kitchen is in compliance and fully inspected.
Correct.
There is also an open permit for the fire alarm too. That the final inspection on the fire alarm has not been called for, which is probably because they're not going to do that until the hood's done.
They got to get the hood guy. They're waiting on the hood guy, Paul.
All right, so get a hold of me so I can walk the building and see where we are.
Okay, you mean before we're done, so we can get a checklist and get everything repaired prior to the inspection?
Yeah, let's get in there next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Very good. Well, it sounds like we're making progress on this. Sir, you understand that the COVID-19 restrictions are serious, right? And they need to be followed.
Yes, sir.
Oh, absolutely. Well, no, absolutely. And Bill knows that. And we're recommitted to get the kitchen help fully staffed so that there's not going to be any time where the paid members are there and the kitchen's not being attended to and staffed properly. And that's what the problem was, Mr. Commissioner. The problem was the kitchen help didn't show up and the guys are there too. The members are there. And that's what happened. And like Mike said, it has happened previously. Now they're spending a lot of money in the kitchen. They're staffing the kitchen and they're going to be providing full service kitchen help.
Okay.
So it's not. So we're committed to making sure that doesn't happen again.
Well, we appreciate that. I would be inclined to continue this for a period of time, and then.
Mr. Commissioner, I think there's someone in the gallery that wants to speak on their behalf or oppose it, or there's a Dan, I believe.
Dan, if you want to unmute and identify yourself.
We had room with these two.
Mr. Commissioner, while Dan's on mute, what we were seeking to do is it's going to take us a bit more time to get the kitchen in compliance and inspected. We would like to get it approved for remove the suspension concurrently with the inspectional services being in compliance, if that's possible.
Okay, well, we can certainly bring that up for discussion. Do you want to allow the club to open?
I would.
Suspension?
Honestly my motion would be to allow them to open, but put them on probation. You give them 3 months. Inspectional services go down there. They check if there's any violations. We can bring up the current violations of COVID-19, but I would allow them to open with a probation period.
Commissioner.
But my opposition to opening, and I don't do this lightly, I guess you would say, is the fact that we have an inoperable kitchen, and under the COVID guidelines, you can't necessarily serve alcoholic beverage to members without also serving food. And I'm looking at this inspection report, and if they have even salads that are essentially rotten and contaminated sitting in fridges, it poses a health and safety concern. So what are they actually going to be opening for? If they can't use their kitchen and they don't have the proper equipment in the kitchen, what are they opening? And I mean, so
I don't think that was
my concern. I'm sorry, I still have the floor. Give me 1 second. So my concern about granting a temporary license at this particular time is would essentially promote more unauthorized use of the under the guidelines. I mean, it just wouldn't make sense to do that this time.
I don't think that was proposal, I thought the proposal was to, once we're in compliance with the kitchen inspection, the kitchen's operational, then and have it concurrently, the suspension would be lifted at that time. So we don't have to wait another month, perhaps, if we can get it done in 3 weeks, Mr. Commissioner. That way we weren't requesting to open without the kitchen.
Oh, then we were confused about the motion on the table. Then I would certainly entertain a special meeting, calling a special meeting. Once you get the clearance from the health department and inspectional services, and they give you the thumbs up, just let Maggie know and at the office, and I certainly wouldn't mind calling a special meeting to get your approval right away, even if it is on a temporary basis.
Well, I guess that's where I was headed when I said we would do a probation time. They would have to have everything. Obviously, they can't open a kitchen without the inspectional services and the fire department's approval. So that would have been mine, a probation time for them to get everything in order. And well, they're working on it, and that there are no other violations, that they're not using any of these kitchens or the fire department. If they did, then we would have to call them back in. But I certainly would go for a special meeting and lift this inspection, if that's the route that my colleagues want to go. Commissioner Salovich, how do you feel on the?
Well, I mean, Commissioner Osina brings up a good point that until the kitchen is in compliance, there is no business. So
Right.
What I think would, we issue contingency licenses here all the time. So you issue the license contingent on inspectional services and the fire department signing off on the kitchen and the Ansel system and, all of that stuff before the license can be enacted. I mean, that would, we do that routinely, so I don't see that being a problem here. Inspector Wells, is that condition, the condition of that kitchen, is that more a product of just having the lights switched off, or is it deeper than that? Is there structural issues? Are there what are the issues with bringing that kitchen into compliance?
Right now, it is the fire suppression system, so which is their hood system, and what's the other one we have open? They need the plumbing and gas sign-offs at this point for a grease trap and a gas line. And then Deputy Cheever mentioned that the fire alarm system, they had a permit in there for that as well.
So would you say that they're moving expeditiously toward this? Is this something that you would anticipate they would be able to complete in less than a month? Or is this something that would appear to be a longer term situation?
I think it's based on their contractors on how fast they can get it done.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Cheever, do you have anything to add to that? Deputy Chief?
Yeah. So like I said, the permit's in the system. I responded saying I need to inspect the property. I did not accompany Inspector Wells when he went down there. So I kind of need to put eyes on the place to see what the real issues are from the fire department side. I'll make myself available for them next week. If the gas permit's in there and the grease trap permit's in there, the fire alarm permit's in there, the hood permit's in there, I think he has all the permits he needs in the system. I think it's just moving them forward, and I'm probably holding them up by not giving them the hood permit because it's a domino effect for the plumbing inspector and everyone else. So I think they could do it within a couple of weeks.
Very good. Well, so we have a choice. We can either table this until they get the sign-offs and have a call a special meeting, or we could approve it contingent on them getting the sign-offs.
I would go with the what we normally do, if contingent on the sign-offs, because if they can get it done in 2 weeks, I don't want to hold them up for a month.
Very good. Commissioner Osina, are you all right with that? Is that something that you're comfortable with?
Absolutely, I would second that if it's in the form of a motion.
Very good. I'll put the motion on the floor that we approve this contingent on the business receiving the sign-offs from inspectional services and the fire department.
I'll second the motion.
That motion is approved. And
I will provide you a report next week via Maggie.
thank you. Sir, do you have any questions?
No, thank you. Thank you very much for your cooperation. We'll get with the fire inspector and the inspectional services and get everything up to date. Where the main thing is getting the hood guy out there to fix everything, and we'll be right on top of it and get it done and get back in compliance. We'll make a firm commitment to make sure the food in the kitchen's operational and someone's attending it at all times.
Well, thank you, sir. And also, please be mindful of the COVID-19 situation. Make sure your employees are masked and that you're in full compliance, because if you're not, we're just going to be back here again and we'll end up.
No, you're right. That's a critical thing. The bartender has to be masked and the staff has to be masked, and we'll maintain that as well.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes this hearing. And that concludes the agenda. We have no communications. I would make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
When would we be adjourning to?
May, it's a date here. Nope, I don't have.
May
my-
19th.
May 19th.
I'll make a motion to adjourn to May 19th.
Second the motion.
The motion is approved. Thank you very much, folks. Appreciate your time.
Are we all right? We're still live?
We are